Plant kingdom. As we moved on gradually with the advancement, our knowledge about plants increased, and further when we classified and elaborated the classification and placed fungi and other bacteria into separate kingdoms, then we came to know that plants, they can be classified further in their kingdom itself on more significant basis, which leads to natural classification system and further phylogenetic classification system. Earlier the classification was based on artificial system which only took the account of vegetative characters and the structure of androecium. This system failed because it placed two very distinctively related species together and closely related species in different places, because sexual and non-sexual characters cannot be compared or considered equal to each other. Then came the natural classification system. In this system, with external features, internal features were also taken in account, like anatomy, the embryo, mode of reproduction, the various stages of reproduction, etc., was also taken in account when classification was done. Next and the most advanced system is phylogenetic classification system. In this system, not only internal external features but evolutionary relationship is studied, and thus we classify the plants. The basic or the various aids towards these studies are numerical, cyto and chemotaxonomy. Numerical taxonomy is available because of the availability of computers and their high processing speed. Cytotaxonomy is available because of microscopy and advancement in microscopy, and chemotaxonomy is to study the chemical composition, the chemical components, elucidation, etc. from the plants. The first category in plant kingdom is algae. Algae is chlorophyll containing thaleoid organisms which are autotrophic in nature, usually present in aquatic habitat. They produce by vegetative propagation, asexual reproduction as well as sexual reproduction. They produce, when they are reproducing vegetatively, they reproduce through fragmentation. In case of asexual reproduction, they reproduce through zoospores, and in case of sexual reproduction, they produce through gametes fusion. And if the gametes, be it flagellated, be it non-flagellated, but if gametes are of similar size, it is known as isogamous. If they are not of similar size, it is known as anisogamous. And if the female gamete is larger in size and non-motile and male gamete is smaller in size and motile, it is known as oogamous. Further, there are three categories in algae, and these are chlorophyaceae, phycophyaceae and rhodophyaceae. These are usually named depending upon their color and the pigment present in them. Chlorophyaceae is of green color, containing chlorophyll A and B. It is having rigid cell wall which is internally made up of cellulose and externally made up of pectose. They reproduce through vegetative propagation, asexual reproduction as well as sexual reproduction. They store food in the form of starch in the storage body known as pyrenoids. These storage body pyrenoids consist protein as well as starch. Next is phaeophyaceae. It is brown color because of the presence of xanthophyll fucoxanthin. It stores the food in form of complex carbohydrates. They produce vegetatively through production of vegetative cell. This vegetative cell is having cellulosic cell wall which whose outer coat is coated with elgin gel, a gel named elgin. Next is rhodophyceae. Rhodophyceae is red in color because of the presence of R-phycoerythrin. It stores food in the form of Floridian starch. It reproduces through both asexual and sexual reproduction by the formation of non-motile zoospores and non-motile gametes. In case of Phaeophyceae, this vegetative propagation is through fragmentation, and this asexual reproduction is through biflagellate zoospores. So here you will see algae, which is chlorophyll containing thalloid structure autotrophic organisms. Vegetative propagation, asexual reproduction, sexual reproduction is exhibited by them, as well as they are usually found in aquatic regions, and further they have three categories depending upon the colored pigment present. These three categories are chlorophyceae, Phaeophyceae and rhodophyceae, chloro green, pheo brown and rhodo red.